G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of Coast to Coast. Steve Bandy in the chair, Oscar Allen joining me. First of all, maybe an apology to the listeners out there who were refreshing madly and just couldn't find any evidence of us last week, big fella.
Yes, I didn't realise this podcast was as important to some people's lives, but I got some particular messages. One from a good friend, Devin Carron, go to school with you. He said, my weekly commute has been ruined, so sorry about that. And I was actually getting some feedback from some people over the crowd. So I was having some set shots during the game. They're like, why didn't you upload the podcast? And I was like, oh, we got like, all right. So firstly, apologies, and it's good to be back.
Yeah, 100%. Great to be back in the chair. I should address you as El Capitano at the moment, big fella. How'd you find that?
I'm the captain.
Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it was a great experience. In all honesty, growing up a West Coast fan, it's been a great pleasure to be able to play and something probably ticked off the bucket list, to be honest.
When did you have that moment of realisation of like, you know, you're not the official captain just yet, but you are doing something that you don't, it's beyond what you dream about. Like you're dreaming of just playing this game.
Yeah.
And now you're the leader of these men and this footy club. When did you have that moment? Was it during the week? Was it run out? Was it flipping a coin? What was it?
Yeah, it was probably a mixture of everything. I mean, I'll preface it with saying that it is a very figure-piece role right now. Like Luke Shuey is still the leader of the footy club, and there's some great other leaders like Tom Barrass, Liam Duggan, Jeremy McGovern, who kind of still are running the ship from behind the scenes, and we've all been working in cohesion for the last probably 6 or 7 weeks. But yeah, there was a funny feeling. I reckon we might have been doing a skill session and I was just looking around and thinking about, like, I remember being like a young player and like looking up and whatever Shannon Hurd said was gospel. And I had almost a moment of, I really don't have any amount of understanding compared to what I imagined he had. And then I thought, I wonder if he felt as much of an imposter in the role as I do right now, but I'm sure that's not the case because Bung is who Bung is. But yeah, it was a great experience and I did enjoy it for all the nerves and everything that came with it.
Did you prepare what you were going to say? How much did you rehearse it in your own head and how much of it was 8 Mile freestyling?
Look, I'd love to say I went out on a whim and but there was a bit of preparation, but just in my own head, like I'm a big believer in this psychological principle, which is the rule of 3. So the brain remembers 3 things really well. So I thought I'll say 3 things. So
it's like the golf swing.
Yeah, so I'll focus on 3 things because hopefully it'll stick. So I just said something about how we want to defend, how we want to attack the ball, and then a personal spin of something that I put on before the game. I actually forgot at halftime. Like that's the one people forget about. The captain generally does another little halftime address. Yep. And we were standing there and we're doing leg swings and Nomi goes, what are you going to say? And I was like, like, what am I going to say? And then just had to fully whiff it. Yep. And I got to a stage where I didn't know what I was going to say. So I re-emphasised and said the exact statement again. That's all right. Hopefully for a bit of a dramatic effect. And
everyone likes a good rerun.
Some blokes were just looking at me like, you just said that, mate. Like, we understand. You just said that. But yeah, it was good.
Do you feel partly responsible for the loss, losing the toss?
Yeah.
And I know you didn't play any role in it whatsoever. You watched the coin get flipped. You watched someone else call correctly.
Yeah.
And you stood there like just a bucket of something.
Yeah.
Did you take any responsibility there?
I mean, to be honest, if there was a game to go to the coin toss, Indigenous round, Sir Douglas Nichols round is probably the round where there's the most amount of people there possible.
Yeah, yeah, posse with you.
I think I had 6 boys, only 2 of us were playing and we had all the boys there.
You barely all fit in the photo.
Yeah, and then they said, we'll do a photo and I was like, do you want me in it or should I stand on the outside? So yeah, I do take blame, but the night before, I actually had a joke with Smudge, my roommate, about giving the old point and running back to goals, even if I lose. But we lost the toss and we were kicking the other way, so I couldn't point and then run the other way.
Run backwards?
Yeah, so
awesome.
Didn't quite work as well as I would have planned.
What about the West writing an article about the chat post-game with Dyson Heppel, the embrace, words spoken? Did you read that?
Yeah, it's just so overblown. Like, I got asked after the game by the journo, what happened there? And to be honest, I'll tell you right now what happened. I said, great game. I really enjoyed watching you play as a kid. If I don't get to play again, you've had a terrific career. Well done.
Did you tell him he looks better in the dreads and the haircut's shocking? Or?
No, I like his new haircut. And he's gone
you're different.
And he's just gone to me, thanks, mate. I've been in the same position you're in now. Like, it's difficult being a young leader in a side that's struggling at the moment. Keep sticking fat and you'll get there. I said, thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. And that was it.
Right.
Like, it wasn't like he said, these are the rules of leadership. He was just like, I just said, mate, really respect you, what you've done. He goes, yep, keep working hard, mate. Keep getting the boys in line. I said, okay, thanks.
So as it stood, last year, West Coast snapped the 9 straight losses against the Bombers at home and fans were hoping for something very similar. Instead, couldn't get over the line. That was now, again, the 9th straight loss with a massive hurdle on the horizon with the Pies at home, who are in pretty sparkling
We
form.
also knocked them off last year.
We did. I was at that game. Did you play that game?
I didn't play any games, mate.
Yeah, how am I going? Good memory,
I had
bands.
a broken foot, mate.
Yeah, that's a fair excuse. Geez, I was up and about in the box in that game. But how'd you see the game play out? You've done the review. You're moving on to Collingwood as of now or as of tomorrow. How did you see that sort of play out, Bombers game? You know, general takes are spirited, came with the effort, much improved from Hawks. The forwards or, mid to forward area, not taking our chances. What are we missing?
Yeah, pretty good synopsis by you there. Probably just a predictability aspect, and we didn't execute when we had the chance. And for the first time, probably all year, except the GWS game, we won inside 50s. So that's a great sign. I think a lot of our KPIs that we look at were really positive, but some fundamental skill errors really hurt us. And I think everyone had one. I had 2 stinkers. Probably everyone in the side had an opportunity they'd like to have back. So we've just got to sharpen up on those. But the effort and intent is probably the bare minimum that's required. And that's pretty much been the messaging that this isn't the ceiling, that's the basement. That's where we should be week to week. And then as we improve, get some soldiers back, become a more cohesive 22, we'll lift from there.
I'm assuming that's the drama at the moment, is when you've constantly got these changes and young fellas in, that the synergy of the group is kind of lost about who stands where, how people play. Like knowing your teammates' tendencies helps you read the play, if only split seconds ahead of time, which can be the difference at this top level. I'm assuming that's a major hurdle at the moment, is blokes in and out, playing different positions. I mean, our forward line, barring yourself, was very makeshift on the weekend, which I'm keen to get your take on in terms of where people need to stand to get out of your way and to work with you.
Yeah.
Is that one of the major pitfalls at the moment?
Yeah, I think so. Just guys learning different roles. And even if there's 1 or 2 changes per week, you can deal with that. But when we have changes, we have like 4 or 5. Like we have a real big turnover. And a lot of those guys and younger players are still trying to find their own way. So they're not as focused on what can I do for the team. It's just human nature when you first start playing. It's, well, how do I make sure I play well so I can play next week?
Yep.
And we've all been through that position. But yeah, my partner Lorna was at the game, and Lorna knows I won't say very little about footy. She's getting better, but when I met her, she'd never watched a game of footy in her life. And she went to me, I was so angry at the start because I saw you next to TB and Rothy and thought, they haven't moved you down back, have they? Because she had no clue about the coin toss, which way you point, that means you kick that way. Didn't look at doesn't know any of the Essendon players, so didn't know the defenders or anything. She was like, I couldn't believe you were starting down back. I was like, I didn't. That was our forward line. She goes, oh. So she was just like,
she wouldn't have been the only one to surely make that mistake with some of the cavalry around you. Look, we're not going to do the votes anymore, Oz.
Why not?
Because it's for one specific reason. You've
forgotten how to count.
No, yeah, that as well. Math isn't my strong suit, but this is getting awkward. You're a genuine chance. We're praising TK for 9 rounds.
Run away.
Mate, you've probably got him. Like, you're so close, and you can't keep coming in here and saying, well, here are my votes, and we didn't start with just me doing the votes, because I'm some numpty in the comms team. Who cares who my votes are? But, mate, you're honestly on one right now. You're a chance to pip TK. You've had 4 snags on the weekend. And, again, you're taking the most of those junk time goals, which I told you are very important.
Yeah, thanks.
Final siren goals where a lot of people are on the train home. That's when you need to nail them.
Yeah.
But what are you now? You're 7th in the Coleman. You're 8 off the big fella, Charlie Curnow. There was a comment post-game that Simo reckons they were looking for you a bit too much in the contest.
I tend to disagree.
Is there such a thing? Did you feel that? Did you feel like, mate, I got 2 on me, I'm creating space? Surely not.
Yeah. Oh, look, to be honest, I completely understand what he's saying. So at the moment, we've got a bit of a makeshift forward line. I think Jake Wardham has actually had a really underrated year as well. Like he had a sore hand, so he was wearing the Quinton Leach glove, and I don't think it helped him that much with his goal kicking.
Is it on the right hand that he's wearing?
It's on the right hand as well.
Because his goal kicking is uncharacteristically fallen off a bit of a cliff in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
from Jake.
He's normally a dead eye.
He is.
And he was really brave for him to get up in the first place and play on the weekend.
Well, he went to the locker room midway through the game as well. I won't ask you what that's about, but that was concerning seeing him go. I was like, mate, honestly, how many key targets are we going to lose at the moment?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say here, I guess, is as a forward, it's kind of on me where I lead at the moment with limited targets in the forward line. Guys will look for me, and if I go to a bad position, then I kind of stuff the team up. So it's probably more of an RFI for me than the ball users, if that makes sense.
But if you're going to bad positions and dragging good defenders and maybe multiple defenders, isn't that, fair tactics to then open up fat sides and open space of ground inside 50 or what?
Yeah, it is. However, I will be screaming for the ball. So I'm not sure it's at the stage afterwards I say, I was doing a decoy lead, but I certainly am not acting like it's a decoy lead at the moment.
Yep.
But I would love to see TB stay forward for a bit longer. I think Simo alluded to that in the media.
We'll get to that. The big fella hasn't come in yet.
Great guest, by the way, this week.
Yeah, good one. You know what he said to me when I said, I'm going to reach for the stars and get the big fella
Something
in here?
wise?
No, of course. But he said, I probably owe you one of them. I was
no, you don't.
You owe me nothing, but I'll have you for sure. So all the stars are on notice. I'm coming for you. So just before we get to the great man, because he'll be here shortly, let's go through some individual performances. Mm-hmm. Jaden Hunt went down back, looked great.
What a great pickup. Like genuinely, he'll be top 5 in our BNF.
Yep.
Like he's had a terrific year. Great pickup.
Durable.
Brings something we've probably been lacking, a bit of pace since the great man Lewis Jetta left us.
Yeah.
He's probably bringing that pace off the half-back flank. Versatility.
But he knows it too. He knows that when he puts that foot down for the first 5-10, that there's very few people on the comp, even with the footy in his hand, that can catch him. And that confidence he has to put the afterburners on straight away and take a bounce opens it up. I mean, for a forward, you'd love to see that.
That would be such a nice feeling to just be like, I reckon 80% of my anxiety of playing AFL football is someone's going to tackle me here.
Yeah.
Like, take that away, I'd be so comfortable out there.
Is that the embarrassment or the
I just don't want to stuff it up.
Yeah,
you're just like, I don't want to stuff it up.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than getting run down from behind.
No.
In my personal
But
opinion.
is that why your first to 10, 20 gamers get rid of the ball immediately because they fear it?
I think so. It's good. It's an interesting question. I think that mixed with everyone, there's this aura about the game so quick and people think they need to be physically fast, but it's more mentally fast. It's how guys like Scott Pendlebury, Shannon Hearn dominate the game and seem to have so much time because they're mentally 2 plays ahead of everyone else, so they know what to do with the ball.
That takes time.
Sorry, you can't just do that all the time.
But I would think it's almost if you receive the ball, you just take multiple steps immediately fast, and that's your best method to avoid it. Really, it's easier said than done from the pie stand.
Yes.
Anyway, getting deep there. So he's
Banger.
Now, before we go there, but he's had 650 metres gain. That's monstrous there from Hunty. Did you notice that he was missing a boot out there on the ground for a while?
I just spoke to him about it before.
Exclusive.
So he broke his boot. So his boot snapped during the game.
Yeah.
And our runner, Jacob Brennan, had to run him a boot out. And Hunty, and we were taking the piss out of him before because he didn't just stop, put the boot on and run. He continued to run whilst trying to put the boot on. So he was like gaining ground to his man.
Brenner couldn't catch him.
But then, so Brenner gave him the boot and he's got the boot trying to put it on whilst like running to the position instead of just putting the boot on and then running there as fast as he could.
Classic.
But yeah.
What if Brenner run him out a wrong boot? It's like, mate, I got 2 left.
This is an anxiety I have of breaking a boot during an AFL game. That's why you always take 2 to every game, no matter what.
Right.
Take 2 pairs.
Everyone does that?
No, but I do. I get that anxious about breaking a boot.
Well, you don't bring any other gear, right? Like, why wouldn't you bring multiple pairs of boots? They pack your shorts, they got your jumper and your socks. Like, you're not bringing anything.
It's funny, but you've got a full packed bag. I'm not sure what. It's just a you don't ever use.
Okay, bunger.
Yeah, great man.
What was he out? A couple of weeks?
Yeah, 3 maybe.
Looked rock solid.
23 kicks, 100% efficiency.
I think I saw 96, but let's give him 100. So was he praised in the team meeting for 100?
No.
Okay.
No. So this is a misconception. People think like in team meetings, people say things like, and Bunga went 100% work like that. No one's ever said that. It's just, I saw a stat somewhere like Enoughy I am.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's never brought up. You say, Bung used the ball well. Like, well done. You don't ever say, Bung, you made 100% kicking efficiency.
Okay.
Like, that's not something people say.
Jeez, I would if you had it 28 times. I'd be disappointed if they didn't mention that I didn't miss a target out the back half.
Yeah.
So handy to have back. Duggo was our leading possession winner at 32. I don't know if that's massive praise for Duggo or...
I'm not sure how, mate. You've got Hunty with 34 and Duggo leading with 32.
This is why I shouldn't give you rundowns because you can't prove me wrong. You'd forgot that by now.
Yep.
Yoey back as well. So he's missed first 3 games of the year. Come back 2 games, another soft tissue, now returned. And despite butchering the footy just a couple of times, he just looks... He's so important.
No, he's
so important.
He's a genuine game changer. Like, he is your Nat Fyfe, your Dustin Martin. And I know people are going to make this something, but he is so good at football, it's not funny. And he's in his prime still when he's going fit and firing. Like, imagine playing very little footy for a large number of years, getting out there and just having the confidence and us saying, I can do whatever I want out here tonight.
Yep.
And I think that's where some skill errors will potentially be not fixed, but changing
I think so.
Changing of decision-making potentially.
Yeah.
But he's always got the confidence to take those kicks on, and you need people like that in your side, and that's why he's such an important player for us.
And he's so great aerially, but we just didn't even need to see any of that on the weekend. What he and Boots have...
Do you like him in the midfield or back line?
It depends who else is playing midfield at the time.
Fair.
And that's an easy cop-out answer.
But yeah, if you have Shuey,
I actually prefer...
Sheed...
Yeah, I like him behind the ball, but it depends. If you're not winning the ball out of there, you got to send him. You just need 22 of him, sadly.
Yeah.
But what he and Shuey have in common that you can see so clearly over the last few years when they're out there is that when they get the ball, they have extreme confidence in their core strength to break like weak tackles.
Yeah.
Or lingering tackles, and they both have it. And when you got their confidence and you can do that, it opens up so much for your team.
Yep.
Connor West's first quarter was probably the best quarter of footy I reckon he's played for the club.
What was it? What do you have?
In terms of touches, I don't know, but he was instrumental in a ton of scoring opportunities. The West, when they do their 3-word things, where it's like sum the player up in 3 words. Not that I want to give the West any airtime on this podcast, but they had something along the lines of his almost game. And that was how I described it. Like if he'd have banged through 2, 3 or 4, 2, 3 or even the fourth of his set shots, they're all difficult. They're all from distance.
Yeah, you get some of them though.
Yeah, true. But he would have been around about the votes if he'd have continued on that trajectory.
The votes that we're no longer doing.
That's correct. Luke Edwards, mate, can't get a run at it at the moment. So he's got a head knock.
He looked good as well. He was doing some good things for us.
I wanted him to start on ball, but they continue to play him on wing. And I'm seeing, can I talk about you shaking your head? Or?
I just really like him and think he's going to be a good player. I'd like him to be around the ball, but that's just my...
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're on the mark that we want to see him around CBDs and stoppages.
I think he's going to be a super player. He's 20 years old and he's missed a whole year with injury. And his third game he played Friday night against Richmond, the game where JK kicked that goal to win the game, had like 26 touches, and that was when Richmond were humming, and so were we. Like, he's a very, very good player.
He's got good decision making when with footy in hand. Yeah, but is this his second head knock? I know he's had his dramas with his groins.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was devastating to see. So
I think he's actually going pretty well though. Like, he hasn't had too many ongoing symptoms so far.
Excellent to hear, mate. Yeah, I love to hear that. I saw a quote. So we saw Ruben start back, and then I think he swapped and went back on ball. I don't know how much defence Ruben actually ended up playing. Simo said on Monday that even though they started him off the halfback, they quickly moved him up the field. I saw a quote from his former mentor and a previous Eagles line coach in Michael Broadbridge. I think he coached him at Wesley. He said that playing him out of position has a chance to hinder his development. Do you believe that?
God, no.
Because I don't.
So I just don't understand. So he's played midfield. He started playing midfield at State 18s last year, right? So he's barely played midfield. So he's played half a season of underage footy at midfield and then half season now, midfield and back. So what is his position? So you're saying he's a backman or a midfielder? Because it's not clear in the first place.
He's probably saying a rebounding defender like he was doing at East Perth, presumably.
But he's 192 centimetres. He's fit as a fiddle. He's a great athlete. Like, you want him to be the best player he can be.
Devil's advocate, is he saying that you move to that midfield position when you're more experienced, body hardened? Is he fearing like the Matty Rowell body burnout by just thrusting him in?
I don't really get it because, like, you can't just say, just play down back until you're a really good player and then go into the midfield. Like Elliot Yeo, we traded him over. He was an All-Australian halfback, went to the midfield, and it still took him a couple of years to develop into the player he became in 2018, 2019, right? Because there's a lot of craft around stoppages, and it's a completely different role. I think midfield is one of the roles where I think forwards can go to backs pretty seamlessly, but being a forward or a back going into a midfield, I think, is a big step up because there's a lot more intricacy around stoppages that can hurt you. So, like, if I take one step too far forward, I'm getting pushed in under the stoppage and my man's getting it and he's going. That's something that is not really the same as a forward or a back. So I think exposing him to it is good. And as a young player myself, people were saying this about me. They were saying playing him forward and back and ruck is burning him out and hindering his development. And I think it's made me a better player for it. So that's my perspective anyway.
I like it. That's why I asked you. So he is one of 7 Eagles to play every game so far this season. Can you name the other 6?
Well, I'm one of them. So me, Ruben.
Yeah. They're you two bunnies, so give us some challenges here.
Yeah. Hunty.
Yeah, he's there.
Bailey Williams.
Yeah.
Brave. He almost missed a couple of times. He's been good this year.
That's true.
He's probably the most improved player for me.
He took more clunks. I don't know if it was against Hawthorn as well, but he definitely took some, because the battle between him and Draper on the weekend was just turning into a classic because they both had their moments of dominance. It was great to watch from a supporter perspective.
Yep.
So you got them, you got 3 to go.
I don't think Westy, because he missed early, but he's played pretty consistently since.
No Westy.
No Longy. No Jake. No TB.
Have I got you?
Hang on a sec. Tim Kelly.
Yeah, that's 1.
So what's that, 5?
You got 2 to go.
Gaffy.
Well done. Last one. He is ridiculously good looking. And it's not Campbell Chesser.
Greg.
No, he is pretty good looking.
He is very good looking, but I do remember Greg didn't play early in the year.
Do I need to give you this one?
Ridiculously good looking. Is that a hindrance tip?
No, that's on the money.
Duggo.
Yeah.
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 He's up there.
Yeah, Duggo's the greatest man of all time.
Okay, well, he's up there. So 7 players yet to miss a game.
Cool.
Dom Sheed about to receive Eagles Life membership for his 150th game on the weekend. I know there were reports that he was sore off the back of the Bombers contest.
I think he'll get up.
Yeah, by all reports, well, him doing the press conference on Tuesday this morning was as good an indication. You don't send him out for a presser before your 150th if you're extremely in doubt. So I think he is going to be good to play. But the fact that he's taking on the Pies in this contest is just so great.
It's great, isn't it?
I wish we were really up and going because it would have just made it all the better spectacle. But I think it's more just, can we hang him there with the Pies being the storyline of the game? Have you spoken to Dommy Sheed? Any mentions? This milestone video that we've created hasn't seen the light of day just yet.
How is it? Is it a good one?
It's a ripper, yeah. He's got some great
I can
moments.
imagine he had the best goal in AFL history.
He does, but he's got a lot of great nous around the contest work.
Yeah.
He's a hard player and he's got some great tackles, but a lot of like handball overheads, hitting targets. You know, a lot of those crafty things within.
You don't see if you're just watching from at the telly and you got a beer and chips and you look away for a second. Yeah.
That's Thumper and his jocks at midnight saying, "Oh, I'm going to rewind that. I reckon I just saw that. Did anyone else?" And I'll clip that for his milestone.
I'm excited for my milestone game video too. Like, has Dom given you any requests? Because he seems to me like the type of guy who'd be like, "Look, to be honest, I want this in there."
No, he wasn't as demanding as others. Someone asked me.
Who's the most demanding? Go on.
Oh,
Lecker would have been up there.
No, because it's more about.
Well, he had a lot of good moments actually.
Hilly was right up there.
Yeah.
Josh Hill demanded, like, "Where's this goal? Where's this moment?" I'm like, "Are you serious right now, Hilly? Like, the camera didn't get it. What do you want from me?"
Yeah.
But Will Schofield directed the music pretty well. Like, it's about music choice. So I'll go to the players and say, "What song do you want?" And then I'll tell you whether it's going to work, and we'll build around it. And I think Dommy was like, "You pick." And let me know what the pick is. So I don't want to be surprised.
What song is it?
I don't want to walk into Barbie Girl by Aqua and you'd be like, "This is what I picked." I said I want to veto it if I have to, but I didn't have to.
So what song is it?
I honestly don't remember. I'll report back next week. It's escaped me.
Look, well, you won't have to because I'll see it on Thursday, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I
had a few words with the great man leading into.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, we actually spoke a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying, I might have I might catch up with a couple of guys afterwards. Like, should be good. Celebrate with some friends and family and stuff.
I was just telling you about the party you're not invited to, or did he throw the invite your way?
I can't say either way. And he just said, but I don't want to get anything organised because as soon as you get something organised, that's when something will go wrong.
Yeah.
So this is like a cardinal rule of don't pre-plan things before it's locked in.
It's the hindrance of the communications team because I want to talk to these players and have an interview or a chat with them. And I'll say, "Hey, we need some time to build this." And they're like, "I'm not doing anything like the week before the second last game." Like, too superstitious, not doing it.
Yeah.
I've run into that a few times.
Yeah. Look, well, you can always keep it. I think just more for a player perspective, like organising family members to get tickets to the game and stuff, and then last minute or something happens, you don't play, and you're like, "Oh my God," like it just becomes a hassle. But
do you remember any instances where it's backfired largely?
Yeah, I think it wasn't a big milestone at all, but it was my 50th game. We were playing in Sydney, and then Mum and my partner and I think Dad were flying over there, and then I got concussed on Friday night against Essendon, and then missed the game, and then it was like
transferables. Yeah,
so they had but it was just like a hassle.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, mate. Greatest goal in AFL history, Dom Sheed's goal. Yes or no? probably in the biggest moment, right?
It is the biggest moment.
Probably the biggest moment of arguably the best game in AFL history.
Yeah, when they do the grand final countdowns,
Yeah, they always win, eh?
they have it at number 1, which is incredible that,
Recent history as well. People hate recent history too.
certainly wishing Dommy all the best for game 150. It's
Yes.
M&D round this weekend,
It is.
Oz.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So I have a feeling there might be some dunking machines going on at the footy ground in order to raise a bit of cash and awareness.
Who at the club would you like to see dunked more than anyone else?
Oh, that's a great question.
I'd love to see Nick Nat dunked. I reckon that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd fit in the dunking machine though, to be honest. I'd love to see Nizzy dunked, not because he certainly deserves it, but it's so out of character, like to see, your head of the footy club get down and dirty and get wet, even though it won't happen.
All right, good luck with that.
But I have a feeling that there'll be a very famous eagle out there in the dunking machine.
Ooh, I like it.
But Oz, I wish you all the best. The Pies, we'll recap that game next week. You got to fly. Any last words for fans out there?
Thanks for listening. Sorry about last week. It will not happen again.
All right, Tom Barrass is here. Let's bring him in. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around. This is an awesome time of the week and the podcast in general. I've got a couple of massive pillars in here, both physically and metaphorically.
2 key forwards, mate.
We'll certainly get to all that. The Mad Dog from Scarborough, Tom Barrass. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, lads. Thanks for having me on.
No, thanks for finding the time, big fella. You're a busy dude.
Well,
Where are the bags? There's no bags under them eyes.
Hey, Thumper, you're being pretty kind there, I think.
Are you lacking a bit of sleep now? How's Benson going?
Benson's gone great. He's a good little boy. My partner Nadia's just hitting it for 6, doing a great job. And then I'm struggling through trying to father my other son, Billy.
Yep.
Who's learning some terrible habits.
Is he the troublemaker right now?
He looks to be more so than his brother. He's got that look in his eye that I've seen before somewhere.
It's almost like it was in the mirror.
Yeah, I know. So he's 20 months, so he's really starting to wake up to the world, and it's an amazing, beautiful thing to watch. But he also is learning to say no and to test some boundaries.
Tough age.
Yes.
The no. Where did you
Yes.
learn that word from, son?
Yes.
So you're playing a bit of one-on-one defense at the moment. There's no zone. It's just you got him and I got him and away you go.
There is no zone, no leverage. It is tight on body, one-on-one defence.
Your lack of lactating's really helping you out at the moment.
Yeah, the lack of milky breasts, kind of annoying right now. But I think Billy's managing just fine with his scrambled eggs. And
Yeah,
his
okay.
little
Is
banana
that his go-to?
smoothie. That's what Dad's cooking him every
Yeah.
morning, yeah. If he doesn't get pancakes.
Hey, is your bro playing some footy at the moment? Where's he at?
Little bro's playing for Claremont, repping Ted. Shout out to Ted. Yeah, he's playing for Claremont down there. He's putting on a bit of size. He's loving it, Ted. He's going really well.
In what grade?
I think he's playing 2s.
Yep.
And he's at Notre Dame at uni studying law and behavioural science. And
Sounds like a Barrass to me.
he got a academic award the other day, which was a shock to our family, to be fair to Teddy. 98%
Wow.
in an essay.
Sounds a bit familiar to your TER
Nah,
result, isn't it? Were you in the
well-
98 percentile?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're like the in-house genius here.
But you know as well as me, Oscar, the TER's a little bit skewed.
Yeah, it's a
As in,
rigged
like-
system.
Coming from an 84, I couldn't agree more.
Is that what you got?
I got something putrid like that.
How do we hire you here?
You're in media.
Got it.
So did he go to Hale as well?
He went to Hale, yes.
Can I ask you if you would send your young boys
We've had
to
this
Hale
conversation.
School because it ain't cheap, but you're not poor, and you've got the background of what your experience was like. What are your thoughts early doors?
Yes, my thoughts are yes. My father was really big on it. He always said the best thing you can do is get a good education, and I never really agreed with him. And in fact, I dragged my heels through high school till about year 11, and then felt really guilty that my parents had spent so much money and made sacrifices to send me to a good school that I thought I'd try and improve my habits and have a crack at year 12, and managed to do okay, but again in a weighted percentile kind of thing. I certainly wasn't getting 98%, that's for sure.
Yeah,
So
okay.
props to Ted.
I want to go to the junior footy days for a sec. You see that Zach Butters went back to his junior footy club 16 hours after playing a game.
Having like 40 touches.
No. He was the runner.
Yeah, but the
game he played.
Yeah, playing. I don't see how that's possible. Like,
Well, he did it, mate.
I just can't imagine. Say we play a game, right? And you going back to Scarborough the next day and running for the side and running like 10Ks. Like, I just would never be able to do that. My body physically could not hold up. And I reckon if anyone at the football club found out, like, I'd be in handcuffs the next day. Like, how mad would coach be about, I don't know, Luke Shuey going back to his local footy club and running?
Don't pick the bloke with soft tissue injuries galore.
Mr. Wheatbix.
Would you? I love the idea of it. Surely,
it's a great idea,
even though you didn't have a 17s team and your junior club dissipated before your very eyes.
Fold.
Wouldn't you love to do something like that and give back to where it all started?
Yeah, definitely. I think I might get corrupted down at the Scarborough Footy Club, though, unfortunately. Yeah, I won't say any more there. But,
Easy. So what side did you join after 17s? Did you just go play Colts footy? Or?
I went and played Colts footy.
So that's the only reason you went and played Colts, because your club side disappeared?
Yeah, well, you know what? I actually had a year of not playing footy. I played a bit of underage Colts and a bit for Hale, but I didn't play club footy. I just went to the skate park and
Tore it up,
yeah.
Sorry, so before PSA starts, right, you're not playing school footy, you don't get picked to Colts, you're just like, they're like, oh, go play well at your clubs. You're like, yeah, sweet, and you just go skating.
Yeah, I'm just going to the new Perry Lakes Bowl. That's a bit too vert for me. It was before the times of the Scarborough skate park, or for those OGs out there, the Claremont skate park.
Right.
Yeah, behind Claremont Oval.
Yep.
That was a spot. Had a nice little spine. It was sick.
See, back in my day, it was just the Wanneroo one. It was the only one that existed.
Right.
And everyone was lining up to go on half pipes then.
After the Wanneroo fresh vegetable market on a Sunday, did you ever used to hit that?
No. Decent, no?
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Fresh produce.
So I did see your Instagram and there was a picture of you like shredding gnar on the surfboard. I don't know how long ago that was.
Yes.
You're skating, you're surfing. Has it all taken a bit of a backseat, or do you find the time somewhere, TB?
Nah, no longer exists, those things. That was in Lakey Peak in October.
Looked like a good move.
It was cool. It was in Sumbawa. It was great. Went with 3 of my best mates. We had the greatest time ever. But yeah, I haven't been in the water since then.
Sad.
Yeah, it's 6 months.
Is that when you did your you were like uncontactable for a long period of time, and then like the first contact is, I remember some of us boys were all at a nightclub in Mykonos FaceTiming you, and that was the first time we'd see you on the lid for months. So like no one ever heard from you, like just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yes, I am good at that around October, November. But I think it's necessary for me, certainly. I've got to drop off the face of the earth for a bit. And I think I can comfortably say my lid was looking better than the other side of the phone call of these 8 blokes in Mykonos.
The smiles and all.
Yeah, pork knuckles and pints, and I don't even know where yous were.
Yeah, that was a great trip.
Awesome. Let me ask about, you moved forward this weekend. How'd you find it? They said, Simo said that you've kicked 5 in the captain's run, and that was enough to get you over the line. I've seen a captain's run. There's not a lot of defence getting played at the captain's run.
It's hard to only kick 5 at a captain's run.
Yeah, it was 18 versus 0, so 5 was probably unders. But yeah, mate, the 9 minutes that I was down there was fun, but it could have been way better if Aussie kicked me the ball when I'm one-on-one in the square like 5 times.
Yeah, I had one where it was like early in the game, and I've seen like, I didn't even see you. I just saw Jake and I was like, I'm kicking at Jake. I was just being in this mode of, at the moment, it's just been Jake and I down there, and there's been no one else. And I just saw Jake. I was like, oh, well, just kick it to him. And then like get off to the bench. And someone was like, we're not going to put him down there if you're not going to kick it to him. And I was like, oh yeah, sorry, mate. Like,
I had the realisation that it's a necessary part of being a forward. And Josh Kennedy used to do it. He was the best at it. Is grabbing someone by the throat and say, kick me the ball, swear word X, Y, and Z, I'm going to kill you, kick me the ball, don't kick it to anyone else. And that's actually what you need to happen, because otherwise you kick it to Jake, and we all know Jake's a total pleb.
Mate, Monday to Friday, the campaigning that is needed to be done as a full forward.
So what are you greasing midfielders in a lunchroom? What are you doing?
Mate, 100%. JK taught me this very well. Like, I remember getting missed and like complaining to him. He's like, don't tell me, tell him. So whenever you get missed at training, even if they kick it to someone else, they mark it. Just go and say, oh, mate, look to lower your eyes there. Like,
I was on there.
And now I'm at a stage where like they kick it to me now. So it's worked. It takes like 3 or 4 years of grinding and then they'll start kicking you the ball heaps.
What were your emotions when they're taking contested grabs at the other end? Is it like, are you feeling any way, or are you just thinking, oh, what am I meant to be doing as a forward? Or are you like, geez, I need to be back there, or I want to be back there?
Nah, I've got full trust in the back line down there. I think we've got a lot of players who are capable of playing in the back line. Sometimes, even when I'm down there, even when Gov's down there, you lose a couple contests early. That's just the way. I was trying to concentrate on my role as a forward with pretty limited preparation, just where I'm meant to be, making sure I'm communicating with Aussie so we got the setups right and I can hopefully stay down there.
You want to stay there, don't you?
Prove my worth. Yeah, duh. Duh. I don't want to be camel down back. I want to be nice.
So you're pushing JK out the door, is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I pushed the past
Pretty sure you tore up his contract, eh? It was you that did it, eh?
I kicked him in the knee on the alcohols.
What about being skipper for a few games at TB? What was that experience like? I've touched on Aussie's time with it. How'd you find it?
Yeah, it was great. It was a good experience for me. The game at which I did it was Melbourne, I'm pretty sure. That was the first time.
It was.
We were at home and my sister was over, I'm pretty sure. And so I had a whole bunch of tickets to the game and my family came. And although, it wasn't as official as if it was round one and you're Luke Shuey, it was still nice to go out and toss the coin, give the speech. It's another little variable in the mix that you've got to learn to carry and then still perform well. And I felt like throughout my couple games of captaincy, I got better at that, at just getting back to what is the best way to lead, which is to play well. And so I thought it was a great experience, great learning. And Aussie did a fantastic job again on the weekend too, and Dougie 2 weeks before that.
Yeah, this is what I was saying to you before. With so many of us that have had the opportunity to do it, like it feels like the pressure, this is how I felt anyway, like there wasn't any pressure on me because I was like running out there and I had TB and I had Duggo and I had Shanahan and I had Elliot Yeo and like I had a lot of other senior players, and particularly the first 3 or 4, like I've all captained the footy club. So I was like, well, there's no real pressure here on me because they'll have my back with whatever. And if I say something stupid, they'll laugh and then it'll be fine. Like it's not a big deal. Whereas, like you say, I feel like round one, and if you are like Luke Shuey and it's your football club, like that's a different weight of expectation and pressure, which thankfully, like on the weekend, you got a little taste for, but you don't fully feel it, which is a good way to try it. Like I enjoyed trying it out. I'm sure you did. Duggo excelled at it. Like he played some terrific footy and is playing terrific footy.
Definitely. I think it's like I said, it's another element, and the last thing you want to do is toss the coin, win it, come back and just choke it up. And you've got 22 blokes who just want to get fired up, or they need something from you. They need a little gold nugget, or they're looking to you, and here you go, get blank and start mumbling something random that makes no sense. It's just that
you never
one
strike me
more
as someone
thing.
that's going to do that though, T.
Well, Josh Kennedy did it once.
Josh Kennedy did one of the worst speeches of all time.
Yeah, while we're on JK, and no one's immune. Bunga used to just roll out the same thing every time because he probably realised that a lot of the prep had been done before that, didn't actually matter. But yeah, you just don't want to forget what you're saying and have silence and, giggles and laughter. So just about learning, and I think we're all getting a good opportunity to do so.
Everyone has real different ways going about it as well. Like I remember Bung used to just look you deep in the eye and he'd be touching you on your chest, like touching everyone, like putting his big paws on your chest. And Boots is more like inclusive, and Gov's great. When Gov does it, he's awesome because he has this like intensity, like his eyelids completely open up and like you see all the whites. Like everyone has, you just got to find your own way to do it. Like how, and good advice that I got this week was just be authentic. Like if you're not rah, 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 don't be that. If you're not a funny guy, like don't try and be a class clown and crack jokes because everyone's going to be like, what the hell are you doing? Like just be yourself, and that should take care of the rest.
Great insight. I don't know if you remember, TB, get serious for a minute. When you went and had the coin toss in the Melbourne game, there was a gentleman out there, Michael Doyle, him and his wife, Linda, 36-year members. He suffered from neuroendocrine cancer at the time, and he had passed away a few weeks after that coin toss. I don't know if you were aware of that.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
And when he went out there, apparently took like all the strength he could possibly muster to come out for this game and toss the coin. And we got asked to go back and review the tape and cut something up for the family and send it back. And it was so heartwarming to see the embrace that Tom had for this fella. It was beyond just shaking your hand. Thanks for tossing the coin, mate. It was like a proper hug with this guy, and it was heartwarming stuff. And I don't know whether it hit a chord with you at the time of either hearing it or seeing this bloke, or you knew the story beforehand.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So Michael Doyle is a friend of the family's, I suppose, through Nadia's parents, Nadia's father and Nadia's stepmother, and obviously heard he was suffering terrible illness and, was trying his best to go through, and that he's a big member and loved the footy club. And so I'd sort of sent him a video the day prior just to say thanks for coming out, and I can't wait to see you, and we'll need all your luck because I'm the skip. And it was great to see him out there. It was a really great moment to share with him, and yeah, I was devastated when I heard he'd passed away a couple of days later. But like you said, it was a great moment for the club to share with the family, and the family have certainly been in touch to echo that. So it's been really nice.
Couldn't agree more. It really does put footy in perspective, despite the hardships you guys are going through from a leadership perspective, keeping good vibes around the group. Do you feel you're finding a good blend of doing that at the moment, with kind of like providing the G-ups and the support people need, while also reflecting on life and stories like that? And you've had two teammates lost parents in the off-season. It's like, this isn't the be-all and end-all, although it's your livelihood at the moment, and finding that blend.
Yeah, definitely. It's tough, You want to be winning. You want to be playing well individually. You want, the club to be successful. You want things to go your way. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, I think. And we've faced some real challenges this year. And so finding the balance between positivity, negativity has been a delicate one, whilst in the same sentence, keeping perspective on the fact that there's no famine around here. There's no war, No one's walking to Poland today. Nothing really horrible's happening to us. And if you can't live in that space and be pragmatic about your approach to getting better at footy, and you let the emotions get the better of you as if you were famined, if you did have real, honest problems, then it's not the best way. So I think that perspective certainly helps me, and it's just trying to find the balance between spreading that and then, it being perceived that you're taking your foot off the pedal and you're being too nice and too accepting. So having that pragmatic approach to your improvement while still keeping perspective of, it's a cyclical industry. Unless you're Joel Selwood, often you don't have 17 years where you play finals in a row. If you want to play 200 games, you sometimes have some rebuilds and some development phases, and that's what we're going through right now, and that's what it's our turn to cop and to work through.
Pretty articulate. Anything you can possibly add on that summation?
Impossible. That was great. That was perfect.
I did a very brief deep dive on the late Tony Barrass, your father, and it was a great read. It was to learn about him. One of the lines that I wrote down here was he was a swashbuckling scribe with beautiful attention to detail in his writing. And I didn't know that your grandfather, his father, was a legendary Sydney Daily Telegraph crime reporter.
Yes.
So media is certainly in the blood of the Barrass family.
Will you be getting into media post-football is my question.
Shame to say.
That stops here?
Look,
Teddy?
I don't have any sort of preconceived ideas about that. I want to contribute to ideas that I believe in post-footy.
Well, that was kind of what he did, right? Like, it seems like the stories he was writing, it was almost like a voice for the downtrodden to a certain degree.
Yeah, he was very good at what he did, and I must admit he didn't bring a lot of it home. He was, I think, because often the subject matter of his stories were dark, he didn't want to bring that home to the family. He didn't speak about his work, and really I didn't know the impact that he had on Australian journalism, probably until he'd passed away. He used to joke that he's a bit of a legend, but you know, as you do when you're a kid, you're just like, yeah, whatever, mate. as Billy will and Benson will to me when I'm going, mate, I was pretty good.
Did you see my goal in the Oz kick on the weekend?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
sure,
mate. I played 200 games, kicked one goal, but like, trust me, it was other parts of the game was good, man. And they'll be going, whatever, Dad. So, yeah, he was a very crafty journalist, very creative guy, and certainly as a father, very funny man.
All right, we're going to some fan questions and then we'll send the great man home to his loving family. So we'll go with sorbet weather to kick it off. Can you cook? And have you got a signature dish up your sleeve if you do?
Man, I have to say I can't really cook that well. And my signature dish, you'll be happy to hear this, katsu bowls.
Oh, yeah,
The Queensland one.
Yeah.
The hub.
Donburu bowls.
There's like a nostalgic bowl that I couldn't tell you the franchise, but rice, chicken cutlets, avo, this special sauce that you can only get from Coles.
Yeah.
And Kewpie mayo. Little bit, you know, towards the unhealthy side.
Full of MSG, yeah.
Full of MSG, probably going to take a couple of days off your life, but great dish and like I can execute it well.
Lovely. All right.
Have you ever done like the katsu chicken curries?
Nah, I'd stumble on the sauce.
They're hectic good.
Yeah. See, I got my cooking going, right, because young father, Mrs. Under the Pump, did Uber Eats for like 4 years beforehand, so I thought I better figure out how to cook. And started getting a bit of momentum and then had Dom and Gov over for a barbie.
Oh, no.
My pressure test cooked this huge tomahawk that was like 3 inches thick. It was just a bit late to get it on the
How did you
plate.
do it?
And,
Did you just go barbie the whole time?
I reverse seared it. I seared one or the other oven and then
Yeah.
the rest. And we were eating about 9:15. And the mushroom sauce that I'd prepared earlier had separated into like its 8 original components and like turned into like, I don't even know. And pretty much since then it's back to like mee goreng on toast or just a hot cross bun with some butter on it.
I just shattered the confidence, big fella.
Mate, shattered it, yeah.
No
and
good.
you know Dom Sheed.
Dom's a great cook.
He just
He taught
lets me
shreds.
know about it, yeah, all the time.
Oh, did you go on or not?
Yeah, I cooked this last night. This is that's elite, eh?
Ooh, that's elite.
That looks good.
That is elite.
That looks good.
Yeah.
You're tinkering on the pinkness.
I'm a big. It's a big so like my partner Lorna, like she likes to make more cooks, like so I give her, so when I'm doing like a tomahawk I give her like the side cut,
Yeah, nice.
so that's obviously got a bit more sear on it and I'll just over sear one side, but I'm big on like the probes. Like I'm not too proud a man to know I can't look at something and be like, that's perfectly medium rare. So I've got my probes in there and my probes are saying, look, it's 55 degrees, 60 degrees is medium. I'm going to pull it out now, let it rest, let the internal temp keep rising.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the meter.
Yeah, meter
Have you got the
probes.
meter?
Yeah, got it
might
for
have to
Christmas.
cop.
Yeah.
Might have to cop.
Jake F08 wants to know who the best person at the club is during tough times.
Oh, wow.
Bung is pretty good, man.
Hit the heartstrings. Do you mean like tough, like something bad's happened to me, or
You answer it how you see fit. You could be the comic relief in dark times. There could be someone who could just keep a level head through it all.
look, yeah, like I was saying before, with the pragmatic, you know, trying to improve versus, you know, you're not actually having the world's worst time right now, so you can cop a bit of negativity, whatever it is, right? Bunga is one of those blokes who innately understands that life's actually pretty good and there's no real pain in the moment, and be the best you can be. And I've been really impressed by, for someone of his experience who's been backing it up for 17 years in a row, his application to getting better today, this morning, right now, is still the best at the club and still the best it's ever been. It's just, he's an exponential type of cat. Everything he does just keeps getting better and better. And in times like this where you're trying to improve, energy's down, people are playing that probably aren't ready to play yet and they would like some exposure in the waffle. He is just in the shed, getting better, dragging blokes along with him. So Jake 808 or F08 or whatever it was, I believe your answer's Shannon Hearn.
Yeah, he's the man. I like, he's not here anymore, but the spoon, Jack Redden, was good for a different reason, because the humour and the lightheartedness and this isn't the end of the world, like he brought that and found a great line, because guys take this seriously, as like everyone does, like this is our job, and he had a great line of, all right, this isn't a piss take, like I'm not here to piss around, but also you've got a shirt on, everyone laugh at Tom. Like he just had a great balance with that stuff that that other people struggle to get right, so... Yeah, he nailed that.
DTP29 wants to know what your favourite pie from the Brighton Bakery is and how is the footy advice you get from there?
I can answer both of those easily. Steak and curry pie is the pie that I'm getting from the Brighton Bakery, and the footy advice consists solely of Wan Dong, his name is, father of Din Dong, saying... Eagle Man. Every time I walk in there, and I'm like, hey, he just refers to me as Eagle Man. And then just, that's it. There's no like, oh, how's training? It's just like, Eagle Man. Like, repetitively until I get out of there with my steak and curry pie and
so good.
Usually a little Conti or something.
All right, you got one? You want me to go?
You go, mate.
Zach Carlson, 22, wants to know why you wear number 37, or I guess why you still wear 37. You would have got an invitation to Hollywood Boulevard over the years.
So 37, pretty much when I first got drafted, Adam Selwood had just retired. And for whatever reason, when we were in Broome on a sort of, Simo had just gotten to the club, having a bonding trip up in Broome, and he came up to me and said, do you want 37? And
because he was on the coaching panel at the time, right?
Yeah, he would just become head coach, right?
Sorry,
Adam Selwood
Sellers.
was, maybe development mids coach. And I always thought 37 was fine. I was like, great, 37, I'll have it. And he said, oh, you better go ask Sellers. And if he says you can have it, you can have it. And so I remember approaching Sellers exactly where we were. He was at the fruit part of the buffet, getting all this fresh fruit for his dessert. And I creeped up behind him. Excuse me, Adam. Do you think would it be all right by you if I wore number 37? And he was like, yeah, of course, man, no worries. And from that day, I knew that I'd never change. And when Pritter retired, I always loved 11, played in 11, legs 11 as a junior. And I thought about it. And there was other blokes, can I change to this? And everyone was moving. And someone asked me, do you want to go to 11? And I really had to think about it, but it was my values that said, nah, you don't abandon 37. You stay in 37 and you make that your own number. And, hopefully I can do that.
I actually do remember JK saying once, and we were pretty drunk, and he was like, oh, do you want 17? And you said it in a manner which is like, I'm not sure you're taking the piss, have you been? And I thought about it, and I was like, it's a bit too on the nose, I reckon.
Yeah.
Going back up and I want to be JK.
You can't go up.
No, that's too, and it's too on the nose. That's me wanting to be him, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of myself, and I'm happy with that, so I'll just stay with what I've got going on.
Great combo.
Disappointed both of us with Braden Maynard's change. I'm playing him this weekend, so
Bruzzy,
I will be making a comment to him this weekend about it.
Bruzzy, whatever, mate, what were you thinking abandoning us? You played 150 games, good ones in 37. All Australian. You're the man. And you go to 4, bruz. What doing?
Yeah, I'm with you. I've got one from Clancy _273. When did you start playing as a key defender? Because a lot of people grow up saying I want to be a midfielder, or some people I want to be full forward. Were you growing up saying I want to be a fullback, or
bit of key defence in Razzle Dazzle Zimbomba, or what?
Yeah.
So I actually played as a winger.
Right.
When I was...
A little seagull.
Yeah, I was I was in primary school, I was a reasonable sized kid, but in high school everyone grew and I was very small still. And so I sort of played through the midfield, on the wing, maybe a little crafty forward. And then there was one game, I can tell you the exact game. It was against Perth Demons. It was a practice match for Claremont Colts. I was an underager, and it was that year that I wasn't playing footy and I was skating. And there was this
Scabs on his
guy
knees.
who was going to play AFL. He was meant to be the best, right? He was meant to be one of the best guys in WA, and his name was Chris Yarran.
Oh, yeah.
But his name wasn't actually Chris Yarran. His name's Chris something else, apparently. This might be wrong, sorry, Chris. But he got his name changed to Chris Yarran because it was more hype. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is random now. I say it might be completely untrue. Again, sorry, Chris. But I played in this kid and he was meant to be really good, and I played in the back pocket because there was nowhere to put me. And I won like 3 one-on-ones on him just out of the blue, and I never, ever, ever have gone back except for the 8 minutes on the weekend.
Which I ruined.
Yeah, which you ruined, and now I'll be back for another 12 years.
All right. Last question, and we'll wrap it up. Liv Floro has some crackers, wants to know if you could play an exhibition match anywhere in the world, where would you go and play it? Where do you want the boys in an off-season to go do a mini little training camp and then a game to finish?
Oh, man, that's a pretty tough question. I would love to play in Austin, Texas. That would be great. I think that would heave. And if not there, maybe Whistler would be cool. And if not Whistler, maybe Amsterdam or Berlin would be pretty fat.
Are you allowed back into Amsterdam? You're welcome back?
I haven't tried to get back in. I'm not sure if I will be allowed back. It was a great time. I'd love to play in. Have you seen some of the soccer pitches they've got in Brazil, like overlooking like Rio de Janeiro?
Sick.
Looks so sick, like on cliffs and stuff. Soccer pitches at the top of these cliffs, and it's just like got like a cage around the outside so the ball can't fly away.
Right.
And it's just like overlooking the mountains and stuff.
I don't think Nizzy's got much on his plate. We'll go speak to him after this and see what we can do.
Cool question, though.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Mate, I had a great time here with you. Thanks for spending some quality minutes with us, discussing all the world's issues, going back in time for some Tom Barrass yarns and your future. Oh, no, there was one question. Hang on.
Oh yeah, this
Hang
one.
on.
I've got one.
This is Liam Murph?
This is last question.
Liam
Then you can go.
Murph?
Yeah. Whatever you answer will be the last thing you say. So I'm going to say thanks for listening, guys, because Tom Barrass will sign off after this. From Liam_Murphy01, how can we shift society to a more meaningful and joyful existence? Is capitalism working?
That is a great question. What was it, Liam?
Liam Murphy01.
Liam Murphy01. One of the fundamental rules of capitalism is that you must provide everyone with equal opportunity to succeed. It's like one of the fundamental laws that's meant to make competitive free markets work, right? So I think that'd be a nice place to start, giving everyone equal opportunity at education and all those kinds of resources, mental or physical, that you get. And I can't actually tell you how we're going to get there, Liam, but maybe more mindful experiences with your friends, more hugging and kissing, more listening to good music and tasting your food, less internal dialogue in the brain. That'd be my advice.